So this is, before we start, this is, okay, so this is an explanation of so this is an explanation of both the verses. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Ladini Shaktir Asma.
I think it said just one verse, Maharaj. I don't remember which number it was.
Well, I think it's the 2, right? Isn't it?
No, it's 3, I think.
No. Reason 3 stated in the 6th verse.
Oh, it's 3 in the 6th verse.
Okay. All right. So, Manyam Shri Guru Shiyata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishkam Vitam Sya Om Ajnana Timarandasya Gyanajana Shalakaya Chakshurun Nilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bishtam Supurakam Guraganarasisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shirupa Patanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Mande Vishwagurunsha Divyat Bhagavad Premnoi Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanam Suchandravaranam Balarka Shelanshidam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Mandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishvara Sridharam Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gaudiya Gauravanvaye Bhato Banoriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Mayavada Tamingi Laudera Gatanu Dritya Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudabdigahana Sukam Pratat Prabhum Tambaje Manshakopatarubias Chakripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahamaranyaya Krishna Prema Pranayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya-charitamrta by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and this is Adi-lila chapter 4, the confidential reasons for the descent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this explanation of the 6th verse of the original 14 Sanskrit verses of the Adi-lila, which is Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrisho Vanayaiva Swadyo Yenadbhuta Madhurima Kidrishova Madhya Sokyam Chasya Mad Anubhavata Kidrisham Vetilobad Tadbhavadya Samajani Sachigarbha Sindho Harindu. Okay, so text number 166. This is, and I was told, now the explanation of the third of the 3 confidential reasons why Mahaprabhu descends. The first is to know the nature of Srimati Radharani's. Krishna wants to know the nature of Srimati Radharani's love for him, or the glories of that love. The second reason is to know of that sweetness that only in him, that only she can perceive and relish. And the third reason is to know the happiness that she experiences in her relationship with Krishna. So Krishna can't experience that from his position, so he has to take the mood and countenance, we can say, of Srimati Radharani, in order to be able to know that. So, go on with this explanation. Kamera tatparya nija sambhoga kevala Krishna sukha tatparya matra premata prabha. The object of lust is only the enjoyment of one's own senses, but love caters to the enjoyment of Krishna, and thus it is very powerful. So, Lokadharma, Vedadharma, Dehadharma, Karma, Lajjadarya, Deho Sukha, Atma Sukha Marma, Dustyaja Aryapata, Nija Parijan, Sajane Kauraye, Yat Tadana Bartsan, Sarvatyaga Kori Krishna Rabajan, Krishna Sukha Hetu Kore Prema Sevan. Social customs, scriptural injunctions, bodily demands, fruit of action, shyness, patience, bodily pleasure, self-gratification, and the path of Varnashram Dharma, which is very difficult to give up. The gopis have forsaken all these, as well as their own relatives and their punishment and scolding for the sake of serving Lord Krishna. They render loving service to him for the sake of his enjoyment. Well, when they say have forsaken, okay, the gopis have forsaken all these, as well as their own relatives and their punishment and scolding. Well, they haven't forsaken that. They still get that. But,
the scolding.
Scolding and the chastisement of their relatives. For the sake of serving Lord Krishna, they render loving service to him for the sake of his enjoyment. Social customs, scriptural injunctions, bodily demands, fruit of action, shyness, patience, bodily pleasures, self-gratification in the path of Varnashram Dharma, which is difficult to give up. The gopis have forsaken all these and accepted from their relatives their punishment and scolding for the sake of serving Krishna. They render loving service to him for the sake of his enjoyment. Ihake kohiye Krishne drida anurag skwacha dota bastre jaiche nahi kondag. That is called firm attachment to Krishna. It is spotlessly pure, like a clean cloth that has no stain. Ateva kama preme bahuta antar kama andatama prema nirmala bhaskar. Therefore, lust and love are quite different. Lust is like dense darkness, but love is like the bright sun. So we've often discussed that there's no adequate understanding of what is actual prema, or we could even say what is real love, because in that sense we can't speak of that because they're not so well known. People don't really they apply love to what is their own enjoyment. Nowadays people don't even talk of love pretty much, but Ateva gopiganer nahi kamaganda Krishna sukha lagi matra Krishna se sambandha. Thus there is not the slightest taint of lust in the gopis' love. Their relationship with Krishna is only for the sake of his enjoyment. So this is one important key understanding of what it means that the gopis have love for Krishna. They're not thinking at all in their own enjoyment. Their only concern is Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's satisfaction, how that Krishna will be happy. Yatte sujata charanam buruham staneshu bita shenai priya jarimahi karkaseshu Tenatavim atasi tad vyatatena kim sweet Kurmadi bir brahmati dir bhavad ayushamna. O dearly beloved, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on our breasts, fearing that your feet will be hurt. Our life rests only in you. Our minds, therefore, are filled with anxiety that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path. And this verse is mentioned many times in the Chaitanya-charitamrta. It says, characterizes the gopis' feelings that, if we, it's something that would not be, the expression in this verse, it's like you would ever hear this expressed anywhere except the love of the gopis. Oh, dearly beloved, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on our breasts, fearing that your feet will be hurt. Our life rests only in you. Our minds, therefore, are filled with anxiety that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path. Atma sukha duke gopir nahika vichar Krishna sukha hetu cheshta mano vyavahar. The gopis do not care for their own pleasures or pains. All their physical and mental activities are directed toward offering enjoyment to Krishna. Krishna lage ara sab kore parityag Krishna sukha hetu kore shuddha anurag. They renounced everything for Krishna. They have pure attachment to giving Krishna pleasure. Evam mad arto jita lokabeda svanam hivo mai anuvrittaye bala maya paroksham bhajatati rohitam masuyitum marhata tatpriyam priya. O my beloved gopis, you have renounced social customs, scriptural injunctions, and your relatives for my sake. I disappeared behind you only to increase your concentration upon me. Since I disappeared for your benefit, you should not be displeased with me. Krishnara pratigya eka ache purva hoite jai bhaje Krishna tareva jai. Sri Krishna has a promise from before to reciprocate with his devotees. Excuse me. Sri Krishna has a promise from before to reciprocate with his devotees according to the way they worship him. Ye yatamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajami aham mama manu vartante manusya partha sarvasha. In whatever way my devotees surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Priya. Son of Prita, I'm sorry. In whatever way my devotees surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my mind and everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Prita. Se pratigya bhanga hoila gopira bhajane dahate pramana Krishna Shri Mukha Bhajane. That promise has been broken by the worship of the gopis, as Lord Krishna himself admits. Na parayeham niravadya samyujam swasadu krityam vibhurayushapiva yamabhajam durjaya geha shringala samvrishya tadva pratiyatu sadhuna. O gopis, I am unable to repay my debt for your spotless service, even within a lifetime of Brahma. Your concentration upon me is beyond reproach. You have worshipped me, cutting off all domestic ties which are difficult to break. Therefore, please let your own glorious deeds be your compensation. So, as we mentioned time and again, that the initial verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam, forming what we can say the Mangala Charan. They are giving some, what Guru Maharaj called ontological background. Then later, when we proceed into the Chaitanya-charitamrta, we can understand better what is the underlying reasons for so many of the actions by the principal persons, and also, what is their, what is going on in the background? What is their, who they are? What is some idea of their actions, especially in relationship with Mahaprabhu's expressions of separation for Krishna, which are become more and more intensified, and then these verses of the internal reasons for Mahaprabhu's descent. This all was shown after Advaitacharya's, what is called sometimes labeled his mystical verses to Mahaprabhu, his poetry, as to, how there is no more demand for rice in the marketplace, and that everyone has become mad, as Mahaprabhu himself has led the way in that madness, and this is expressed by one madman to another. Then after that, it says that all Mahaprabhu's performances became mad, intense displays of separation from that time on. So it was, you could say, after that, it was like expressed, well, if there was any background of the Yuga Dharma having been given, now, Mahaprabhu could express his internal reasons and said that Swarup Damodar, after that, he said, well, what is the meaning of this expression of Advaitacharya's poetry? And then Mahaprabhu says, I don't know, here in Bengal, there are a type of worshippers who worship the deity for some time and then perform some visarjan, and then they say goodbye to the deity, right? And he says, I do not know. Maybe Advaita is that kind of worshipper, right? He says like that. So, and it's an internal joke almost of Bengal, you could say, because in Bengal they do all this worship of Kali Ma, Kund, right? So that's expressed. And then from that time on, from that expression of Advaitacharya on, then Mahaprabhu was going on with these internal reasons for his descent. So it's all working, that everything is being given here in the early chapters of the early verses of the Chaitanya-charitamrta. Tave jay dekiye gopir nijadehi prita sehota krishnera lage janiya nischita. Now whatever affection we see the gopis show in their own bodies, know it for certain to be only for the sake of Krishna. Edo deho koilun ami krishnes samarpan taradana tara iha sambhoga sadan. The gopis think, I have offered this body to Krishna. He is its owner, and it brings him enjoyment. And Edeho darshan sparshe Krishna santoshan elagi korideher marjana mushan. Krishna finds joy in seeing and touching this body. It is for this reason that they cleanse and decorate their bodies. Ijangamapiya gopyo mameti samupasate Tabhyam param name partha niguda prema bhajanam. O Arjuna, there are no greater receptacles of deep love for me than the gopis who cleanse and decorate their bodies because they consider them mine. Ara ek adbhuta gopi bhabera swabhab budir gocharanahe jahara prabhav. There is another wonderful feature of the emotion of the gopis. Its power is beyond the comprehension of the intelligence. Gopi gana kore jabe Krishna darshan sukha bansha nahi sukha hoy koti gun. When the gopis see Krishna, they derive unbounded bliss, although they have no desire for such pleasure. Okay. Gopika darshane Krishna jayananda hoy ta hoite koti gun gopi ashwadoy. The gopis taste a pleasure 10 million times greater than the pleasure that Krishna derives from seeing them. Sas tasavar nahi nija sukha anuroda tatapi buddhaye sukha padila viroda. The gopis have no inclination for their own enjoyment, and yet their joy increases. That is indeed a contradiction. A viroder ek matra dheki samadhan gopikara sukha Krishna sukhe paryavasan. For this contradiction, I see only one solution. The joy of the gopis lies in the joy of their beloved Krishna. So very, very idea of the selflessness of their love. You know that, what is it? There is a comment, I think, that Guru Maharaj made that we, in the West, we have some idea from maybe conception of Christianity of self-sacrifice, but in the case of in the devotion which is expressed by Mahaprabhu and his devotees, there is a conception of self-forgetfulness, not just self-sacrifice, but self-forgetfulness. Gopika darshane Krishna bare prafulata se madhurya bare jaranahika samata. When Krishna sees the gopis, his joy increases and his unparalleled sweetness increases also. Amara darshane Krishna paila eta suk e suke gopira prafula angamu. The gopis think Krishna has obtained so much pleasure by seeing me. That thought increases the fullness and beauty of their faces and bodies. Gopi shobha deki Krishna shobha bare jat. Krishna shobha deki gopir shobha bare, how's that pronounced? Bare tat? Huh? No, not, well, tata, but the word before. Bari, okay. The beauty of Lord Krishna increases at the sight of the beauty of the gopis, and the more the gopis see Krishna's beauty, the more their beauty increases. Emata paraspara bare hudahudi paraspara bare keho mukha nahi muri. In this way, a competition takes place between them in which no one acknowledges defeat. Kintu Krishnara suk hoy gopi rupa gune tara suke sukha bridi hoy gopi gane. Krishna, however, derives pleasure from the beauty and good qualities of the gopis. And when the gopis see his pleasure, the joy of the gopis increases. Ateva se sukha Krishna sukha poshe e hetu gopi preme nahi kama doshe. Therefore we find that the joy of the gopis nourishes the joy of Krishna. For that reason the fault of lust is not present in their love. Paityapati Sundari Tatibir Abir Abhyarchitam Smitan Kura Kurambitar Natad Apangabang Mangishatai Stanastavaka Sanchara Nayana Chanchari Kanchalam Braje Vijayanam Bhaje Vipina Dushata Keshavam. I worship Sri Keshava. Coming back from the forest of Vraja, he is worshipped by the gopis who mount the roofs of their palaces and meet him on the path with 100 manners of dancing, glances, and gentle smiles. The corners of his eyes wander like large black beads around the gopis' breasts. Ara ek gopi prema swabhavika china je prakare hoy prema kama gandahina. There is another natural symptom of the gopis' love that shows it to be without a trace of lust. Gopi preme kori Krishna madhurjara pushti madhurye madhaya prema Hoya Mahatushti. The love of the gopis nourishes the sweetness of Krishna. That sweetness in turn increases their love, for they are greatly satisfied. Priti Vishaya Nande Tad Ashrayananda Tahanahi Nijasuka Vanshara Sambandha. The happiness of the abode of love is the happiness of the object of that love. This is not a relationship of desire for personal enjoyment. Nirupari prema jaha taha e riti priti vishaya suke ashrayara priti nija prema nandi Krishna sevananda vare seyanandera prati bhaktera hoy mahakrode. Whenever there is unselfish love, that is its style. The reservoir of love derives pleasure when the lovable object is pleased. When the pleasure of love interferes with the service of Krishna, the devotee becomes angry towards such ecstasy. Angastamba rambam utungayantam premanandam daruka nabhyananandat Kamsha vijane yena sakshad akshodiyan antarayo vyadhaye. Sri Daruka did not relish his ecstatic feelings of love, for they caused his limbs to become stunned and thus obstructed his service of fanning Krishna. And he's fanning Krishna, and then he would feel so much ecstasy that his limbs would become stunned, and that means his hands wouldn't move. And then he would be angry with that ecstasy. Govinda prikshana kshepi bashba pura bivarshinam uchar anindam anandam aravinda vilochana. The lotus-eyed Radharani powerfully condemned the ecstatic love that caused a flow of tears that hindered her sight of Govinda. Arashuddha bhakta Krishna prema seva bine Swasukarta salokyadi nakore grahane. Furthermore, pure devotees never forsake the loving service of Krishna and aspire for their own personal pleasure through the 5 kinds of liberation. A pure devotee of Krishna who loves him exclusively will flatly refuse to accept any sort of liberation, beginning from merging in the body of the Lord, and that, of course, and extending to the other varieties of liberation, such as equality of form, opulence or abode, and the opulence of living near the Lord. Madguna Shruti Matrena Mai Sarva Guhashaye Manogatir Avichena Yata Gangam Bashomu Yata Gangam Bashom Buddha Madguna Shruti Matrena Mai Sarva Guhashaye Manogatir Avichena Yata Gangam Basho. Gashombuno. Just as the celestial waters of the Ganges flow unobstructed into the ocean, so when my devotees simply hear of me, their minds come to me who resides in the hearts of all. Lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya I udaritam haituki avya vahita yad bhakti purushottame. These are the characteristics of loving service to Purushottama, the Supreme Lord. It is causeless and it cannot be obstructed in any way. So we're hearing of, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is giving a very nice explanation of what reasons Mahaprabhu is coming, and he is initially given the explanation, in where he says that, Anarpita charim chirat karuna yavatirna kalo samarpayitum unato jwala rasam svabhakti shriyam hari purata sundari jyuti kadamba sandipita sada ridaye kandare suratu va sachinandana. So he's bestowing upon everyone when he comes. He's giving, full expression of all the rasas, up to and including Madhura ras. So, and of course he's coming to give the Sankirtan, the chanting of the holy name. But as, here we can see that giving full expression of rasas up to expressing Madhura ras, that's considered external, an external reason. That's implied that it's an external reason, because here we hear of Mahaprabhu internal reasons for him descending. So it's this is indeed very high thing that is being expressed. That if we hear that Mahaprabhu, because what incarnation is showing, and you can almost say delineating what is Madhura ras, what is the feelings in Vrindavan, especially those of the gopis, that other expressions, other avatars, other expressions of Godhead, they don't give even really a hint of these things. Other sampradayas, what do they know of this? In other sampradayas, the gopis are beyond their understanding. They're thinking of the gopis are, very, what can you say? They can't understand the nature. They can't understand the gopis at all. In some of the sampradayas, they consider the gopis are like minor characters. They're incidental characters that were there during Krishna's childhood. But more recently, or later in his pastimes, that Krishna actually settled down and got married, right? So they are unable to understand, what is going on in Vrindavan. What is the nature of Krishna's love? Then we can find out that it was something I read recently when we were reading in the Madhya-lila, and it was talking about how, it was talking about, what's the exact situation, when Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan, he wanted to see what is it, Giridhari? What's the action? Gopal. He wanted to see Gopal, who's on Govardhan Hill, and he wouldn't climb. He wouldn't climb Govardhan. So then the deity invented some excuse that there was a consideration that the Turks were coming, so the deity descended and I forget where it was, the deity came to the temple. Do you remember, did it come to what's the temple when you go near Manasaganga?
Haridev.
Huh?
Haridev.
Haridev? Did he come to that temple or was somewhere else? I don't remember, but anyway.
Mathura, when Rupa Goswami was there.
Well, that was later, but this is during when Mahaprabhu was coming. Anyway, deity came, I think it was Haridev came there, which would seem not so far away from descending from fear of the Turks, but anyway, came to where Mahaprabhu could have his darshan. Then it was expressed, like you're saying, later when Rupa Goswami and many other devotees with Rupa Goswami, the deity came, and then it's described in the purport that the deity came to the house of the son of Vallabhabhata's son, came to Vallabhabhata's son's house. At least in the purport it says that. It says came to the house of Vallabhabhata. Now, I don't know if that's an accurate translation of the purport. But it says, I believe so, and it says it came to Vallabhabhata's son's house. It gives his son's name, which I thought was unusual in the sense that I was saying that in other sampradayas, they don't actually have a clear expression of Madhura Ras. And it even says that Vallabhabhata, he approached Gadadhar Pandit to be able to understand something of Madhura Ras, but here was the deity coming, at least it's expressed to his son's house, and there Rupa Goswami and others saw. But that's what I was saying, that, I was a little surprised reading that, because we don't normally think of Vallabhabhata as being, it is said sometimes in Sampradaya Vallabhabhata, that's
Vishnu Swami.
No, is that Vishnu Swami? Okay. That in that sampradaya, they're not expressing, so much the worship of Radha and Krishna, right?
I think it's more husband and wife, Maharaj. I think so.
Is it husband and wife? I thought it was Bal Krishna, but I'm not sure.
Also Bal Krishna, but that's their conception of Radha and Krishna as husband and wife. I know that, yeah.
You're sure of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Maybe they emphasize Bal Krishna in some places, but...
Okay. But anyway, as I'm saying, there's not very much of a clear conception of even understanding of Madhura Ras. And then the Chaitanya-charitamrta is not only saying that Mahaprabhu gave that, but he had internal reasons for his descent. So anyway, we're discussing that. And I'm kind of going to stop at this point. We'll read from something from Chaitanya-charitamrta. Now, you want to make any comments here? Okay. So, it's, what can you say? I'm kind of like, feel myself to be able to read these things. I, can read them, and when I'm reading Chaitanya-charitamrta, I don't know, in Bengal, what is it? They have the expression of giving pot, right? And it's doing a reading. I'm hearing these things, and that is for, that helps me to be able to remember the Chaitanya-charitamrta. So I consider that, some causeless mercy coming. So now we'll hear from Prapana Jivanamrita, and this is chapter 5, which I'll go back, and this is Rakshishyatiti Vishvasa, confidence in the Lord's protection. So this is in the words of the devotees, nectar of the words of the devotees, and this is of the 6 limbs of surrender. This is confidence in the Lord's protection. So do you remember which verse?
Let me see.
Careful.
Sorry.
No, just
No, is it just drop it? It's this one, Maharaj. It's the last one.
the last one.
Yeah.
Okay. Shri Gaurahare Sarvopaya Vihinesh Vapi Rakshakatvam Gyanadi Vartma Viruchim Vrajanata Bhakti Ritimna Vedmi Nacha Sad Gauravomi Milanti Hahanta Hantam Hamaka Sharanam Vimudha Goro Haris Tavana Karna Patam Gatosti. Okay. This is from Prabodhananda Saraswati. Sri Gaurahari is the savior of even those bereft of any method of approach. I know not the ways of love in Sri Vrindavan, which breeds disloyalty to wisdom in the world, nor do I come to meet with saintly teachers. To whom shall I surrender? Where shall I go? O foolish fellow, you cannot have heard about the Golden Lord, Sri Gaura Mahaprabhu. Okay. So Sri Gaurahari is the savior of even those bereft of any method of approach. So, without any other entrance, without any method of approach. I know not the way of love in Sri Vrindavan, which breeds disloyalty to wisdom in the world. So I don't know of what is really the love of Vrindavan, nor do I come to meet with saintly teachers. To whom shall I surrender? Where shall I go? O foolish fellow, you cannot have heard about the Golden Lord Sri Gaura Mahaprabhu. Okay, so this is an expression of Prabodhananda Saraswati, who Srila Govinda Maharaj says that Prabodhananda Saraswati, his expressions are, of such an exalted nature that even he asked that his name not be taken or not be expressed in the Chaitanya-charitamrta. The Chaitanya-charitamrta is really establishing as preeminent the position of Srila Rupa Goswami. And Prabodhananda Saraswati, that, Guru Maharaj is expressing in the Prapana Jivanamrita. I'm going to say there's a natural progression in all the chapters from an understanding up to a more exclusive understanding. And here, this coming to the words of Prabodhananda Saraswati, which, I don't know, some expression there we also find in Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Emuna Durmati, expressions of good tidings or good fortune, A wicked mind brought me into this world. But, then there is expression of hope that I have good news for you, that Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu have descended and Navadip to give good fortune to everyone. So, anyway, Prabhupada Jivanamrita. And one time one person translated Prabhupada Jivanamrita, but he left out Guru Maharaj's aphorisms. He expressed, all the verses, but then, like here, the aphorism is Sri Gora Hare Sarvo Paya Vihineshvapi Rakshakatvam, which is Sri Gora Hare is a savior of even those bereft of any method of approach. So really, it's those expressions that is giving us an understanding of the verses. Without those expressions, just a series of verses are not going to be really of so much benefit. Guru Maharaj has compiled those verses so that we can understand, progressively what are the topics of surrender. And he's given them in a particular way with his own comments. And then for that reason, at one point, they heard that Bhakti Hridoy Ban Maharaj, he said that, who himself is a scholar, he said, Srila Sridhar Maharaj has outshined all of us by presenting not only immaculate literature, but doing so in Sanskrit. And Guru Maharaj's expressions are in Sanskrit. And Govinda Maharaj has said that. He says that Guru Maharaj's Sanskrit is very easy to understand, but Guru Maharaj's Bengali is more complicated. You've heard that expression? So, and the Prabhupada Jivanamrita is expressed in Sanskrit. Of course, it has the Bengali commentaries, and those are being translated. So then, to explain something of the Sanskrit. But the Sanskrit itself has been said by Govinda Maharaj to be in a simple style, and then was, as I said, Ban Maharaj's expression that how Srila Sridhar Maharaj had given this great, contribution in the form of Prabhupada Jivanamrita. And also has done so in the form of other, important verses, important songs, important verses in Sanskrit, such as Premadava Deva Stotra, right? And his Guru Maharaj's, song of...
Is that Bengali, the Bhakti-vinod Thakur? Or is it Sanskrit? I forget.
Well, no, there are Bhakti Vinod Dashikam, Viraha Dashikam, that's in Sanskrit. And as is Prabhupada's Stavakas in Sanskrit. So Guru Maharaj presented songs and writings in Sanskrit, which is very beautiful.
Purnamami Sada, Sanskrit, huh?
Yeah, that's Prabhupada's Stavaka. Yeah, many contributions.